Hey, welcome everybody to my smithing guide. Please pick a specific section or follow the guide all the way through to get information on how best to make cubes through smithing. Alright, enjoy. As you notice, or as you can obviously see, I have maxed smithing, so I qualify as a Meister, so I can make Meister cubes and Master Craftsman cubes. And I pretty much just decided to come out with a guide on like what's the most effective way to get your smithing up to level 10, and then from level 10 to level 11, because you have to be at least level 11 to craft these cubes, Master Craftsman cubes, and then you have to be level 12, which is Meister, to craft Meister cubes. So what I'll do is I decided to start off at the place that will pretty much be the life and death of, you know, being able to craft anything without having to buy a lot of stuff out of the FM. There's still a few things you might have to get out of the FM, like pieces of time in terms of getting your smithing from level 10 to 11, but in terms of getting monster item crystals, ores, herbs, and anything else you really need, apart from cubic fragments as well, which is a bit of a shame, and just normal cube fragments that come from bosses, you can get everything else from here. So with Evo Lab, it's a PQ, if you haven't done it before, that you can do 5 times. I kind of skipped past it, but as you can see, there's a count here. So I've done 0 out of 5 for the day, since it's just reset while I'm recording this. And yeah, so when you first see it, if you haven't done it before, your core thing will not look like this. You'll have locks that look like this in these places, or it's a triangle shape, it's either pointing down or up. And in order to unlock that, which I highly recommend, it's pretty easy, all you do is after you've farmed a specific amount of cores, you go and select this one, and as it says here, first core slot expansion. But it's not talking about one core slot in particular, it's talking about the 3 main ones that are locked in here, and then you do a special one to unlock this one, but it's not really that necessary. These are the special cores that go in the middle here, and as you can see, I've only got a couple of them. I think, yeah, I've got some drop ones as well, but they're not that important overall. So what you should be looking at doing is using whatever item you're after. If you can farm level 120 weapons if you get the drop core. Other than that, you can buy up to level 110 from the vendor coin shop. It costs Meso, although the one I pointed out, the core to unlock the other slots, here costs actual farmed evolving coins, but they drop in the PQ, so that's not to be worried about. So you can get the other things here for Meso. It's pretty cheap, and it's a good way to, if you're looking for stuff to sell in the FM that people will buy, you can do this as well. So it's a good merching technique, but you might not make as much money as you can from other things, but it's still worth giving a try. So yeah, weapon drop, I don't have any Necromancer level 120 drop cores on this character. I've been using a different character just to drag this character in, and I've also got a specific herb dropping. I had this Manjorum core in because I was trying to level my herbalism on my Kana, because the Kana is the character that disassembles the equips once I farm them on this character. So that's where I get monster item crystals from. And I'll include a little bit on that after this part, just to show how you can combine one profession with another. So you might have another character next to you to disassemble them, or another character on your account. So what you really look at doing is having, out of the basic cores before you, if you start doing it a lot, then you might get some better ones. But the best you can buy from the shop is monster population 30%. It increases the mob size by 30%. Obviously you can get higher ones, 70 and 100. But you can also get lower ones like this one, so there's 20%. But another one that I have, I think I've got a couple around here. Where is it? Here. Yeah, so I've got 70%, which is pretty good, and then I've got 100%. So obviously they drop pretty rarely, but if you've got a lot of drop gear, it comes in handy. So yeah, then you just use a few other things. Monster HP gives you more EXP, you can get better ones of those as well. I think there's one that I've got here. Yeah, so I've got a times 20. Times 20 is the best one you can get, and then you can also get times 10. So yeah, as well as there being times 5, and you can also do times 1.2. So you do those ones. I'll show you what it looks like in here. I'll go in just briefly. I'll show you the link you go into. So all of this is available. You don't need to unlock anything to get into this part. So what you do is you go into link 3 and you just focus on these mobs. And if you get in here quickly enough, they will insta-spawn once you kill them. If not, then they'll spawn on almost a timer, so you'll notice it resetting every once in a while. So what you do is you come in here and you pretty much kill everything and loot the drops. I don't think I had a drop percentage core, and that's the only thing I forgot. So you can get a 10% drop core from the coin shop, or you can get better ones in here like 25%, 20%, 30%, which really helps in terms of item drops. So you can take a 2x drop card in here, you can use drop gear, yeah, anything you can really think of. And then you wait for the machine to explode down here, and then it draws all the mobs into the middle. And this is where you're going to get the majority of your EXP from if you're coming in here to train. It is a good training area from 105 upwards. You have to be level 105 to start the quest. So yeah, they come in here and things will just start dropping. So in terms of farming anything you need to level professions, this is the place to do it. So yeah, I'll just grab this one and probably that equip. So yeah, so this is Evo Lab. You can be in here for half an hour per run. You can do 5 runs, so that's 2.5 hours per day if you want to do every single run. It does get a bit tedious after a while. The drop core that I was talking about that you can use is down here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is where all your weapons are. You can't get the level 120, and that's what will give you superior item crystals. But yeah, so drop rate 10%, and the herb and mineral drops, as well as rare drops, which will give you hidden potential items. So you can do that if you want, but I prefer to use it on other things. So yeah, that's Evo Lab, and that's where the majority of your farming will come from. It is important, especially when you're starting out in your profession, because they took an option away in Ardent Mill. You used to be able to buy ores, just the basic standard ores from this shop, but they've removed it. So yeah, you can only get the stuff that helps you make ores and herbs and the abrasives which are used for making cubes and other equips. So yeah, this is where the smithing happens. So I'll craft a cube right now. Just need to get rid of something here. These. So yeah. And there's no timer attached to both of these, so that you have a 5-minute wait once you make one of these, but it doesn't affect the other cubes. So you can pretty much make 2 cubes every 5 minutes if you've got the stuff. So yeah, I made one here, and it tells you everything that you've used. The Master Craftsman cubes are easier to make than the Meister cubes because they use less superior item crystals, and the cubic blades are cheaper in the FM. However, these cubes only go up to unique. And yeah, so see, I'll just drop another. Oh, we need Hella. I'll get rid of that. So yeah, it says crafting available in 5 minutes. If you go over to Meister cubes, you can craft straight away. And then when you do one of those, which I'll do right now, it'll give you another 5-minute timer. So that's what you can look forward to once you've gotten smithing to max. After, well, when you get it to level 12, it'll just keep stacking up. You need to do it every 48 hours before it has the, well, it's not a chance to reset. It will reset back to level 10 if you do not keep doing it each day. So I've got a lot of things here to make cubes. I'm not going all out making cubes straight away because I'm trying to time it. These things expire after a certain amount of time, so by the 22nd I'll have enough cubes made in order to probably make another video and do a cubing video for gear that I've got. So yeah, that's the cubing side of things, but in order to get here, I'll show you the stuff that you have to do. Okay, so this was the Kana that I was talking about that I use to disassemble the equips I get from Evo Lab. This Kana comes in and uses Kishin. I don't have any of the equips that I farm at Evo Lab because I disassemble them straight after the run, so therefore I've got room to do stuff. But yeah, in terms of disassembling stuff, can I do any of this? Yes, I can. It is an alchemy skill, and in order to do certain level equips, you have to have a certain level alchemy. As you can see here, I have a level 5 alchemy, so it means I can do up to level 120 equips. To do 130 and higher, you need to be level 6, and then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10, and so on. And yeah, then you get up to the alchemist
level 11 and 12 that allows you to make things like boss potions and things like that, but I'm not too interested in doing that stuff because I don't really use it. So yeah, I'll show you quickly just how to, well, what you really get from disassembling. Yeah, actually no, I might, oh, I've already got one. I was going to say I might use that, but yeah, okay. Disassemble that. That's the silly jump thing. And yeah, so we got one advanced item crystal. The good thing about this is that it doesn't add to fatigue and it doesn't add to experience either, so you don't need to worry about you know, having more characters if you've got more equips to disassemble. So yeah, all you've got to worry about is the level of your alchemy in order to do this sort of stuff. So I'll show you what I mean by the level requirement. So just say, I'm not going to try to disassemble that, but this here comes up and says with 5 you can only do up to 130. So I can't do 140 equips, so I need to get it up another level higher. So yeah, that's what I do, and you get superior item crystals and advanced item crystals from level 120 and even level 140 equips with Empress. I disassemble those on Erasers because it's also an alchemist, so I can just disassemble bossing equips really quickly. So yeah, back to the Corsair. So you'll start out with mining, which comes from over here. I'm sure a lot of you have done it just so you can open veins. So you speak to Cole, you can learn it, and then you can raise it as well. So what do you make here? You want to focus on the basic stuff. So silver ores will be very important for you. That's why I've still got a lot here, because I use these to get my smithing up to level 10. And what I worked on was projectiles. So as you can see here, I've got 17 opals and I have 10 diamonds, but opals and silver plates are the best things to focus on in terms of leveling them up. So I can't get any more mastery EXP here because I'm at max level, clearly. But yeah, in order to do it, you just do this over and over and over again. It gets harder to level up as you get towards 10, but really you should be able to do it within 24 to 48 hours of starting. So if you go and farm everything that you need, you can get it to level 10, and then I'd suggest working on building up a lot of the stuff you need for cubes, as well as getting the stuff you need to get to level 11. So there's a number of different ways you can get to level 11. You can't craft cubes, so that's unfortunate because that does give you a lot of EXP. But the thing that I found easiest to do, because I had access to pieces of time, you can craft these hats here. The main benefit about these hats is that you don't need a recipe. So it gives 1.5k mastery at level 10. You might look at it before that and it'll be less, but it's something you focus on level 10 and onwards. And yeah, so you can craft, as it says there, 10 fatigue per craft, so you can do 20 of them before you're fatigued, and that'll get you pretty close to leveling to level 11. So again, it might take you another 24 to 48 hours to get it completely done. Pieces of time can be a pain. If you have more rocks of time, you can also do that. So as you can see here, rock of time, you only need one, but they really only come from pink bean as well as veins. So yeah, if you do have a lot of those, or you see them in the FM that are cheap, probably do that. And yeah, the only other thing you really need to focus on getting, as well as your your silver ores or opal ores, after you're finished with that, farm these dark crystal ores. Can't be gained from Evolab, but black crystals can. So if you farm enough black crystals and equips at the same time to disassemble, if you farm level 110 to 120 equips, you can disassemble them and get a lot of advanced item crystals. So that really shouldn't be an issue for you. The only main issue will be pieces of time, because those are the only things you can't get from Evolab. But you can buy them in the FM if you have the money, or you can spend time farming them in Time Temple or looking for veins. So yeah, that's how you really get up to level 11, and then after level 11 you just craft Master Craftsman cubes, because that's the only cube you can make at level 11, as I've stated before. And yeah, so you do this, it gives you 5.3k EXP per craft, and I think it's at 120k, so you can get there pretty quickly if you just have all the stuff. And in terms of the places to farm cubic blades, there's not many around. One way is to farm these mysterious legendary veins at max level
smithing and accessory crafting, it gives you the, well, I think it's a 20% increase in the chance to get one from one of these veins. So it's a great way of getting them if you go around and look in places like Second Drill Hole. The place that I go to where I just get a couple each day is Commercy, which is the trading town. You go to Trading Post. I've just got it saved in my Hypertele. You don't get a lot from here, but you know, it's pretty difficult to find them. You can just buy them in FM. It'll probably be one of the only things, if you farm everything else, that you'll have to worry about buying. And in the grand scheme of things, if you look at how much you can spend on cubes from the cash shop compared to how much you have to spend on, you know, cubic blades in the FM, you'll save a lot of money. So if you see, like for example, all the Chaos cubic blades here, I spent about, I think I had 150 altogether. I spent 2.5 bill buying all of those. It's 5 per craft, so in essence that's 30 cubes. 30 cubes for 2.5 bill is a lot better than what you get with NX. So with the NX Raider and Bellow, it's 1 to 200. So pretty much you'd be able to, with that 2.5 bill, you'd be able to buy 1 stack of red cubes. You wouldn't even be able to get black cubes. So add up what's better. You know, you're spending that much just for those, and you can make a lot more. So you'll be able to gain a lot more than just cubing with red cubes. So yeah, it's not exactly the best way. Well, it kind of emphasizes how this game is pay to win. You know, I don't deny it, but really you've got to spend money to make money, if you look at it that way. So if you do this, you know, yeah, you'll be saving money, but you know, you've still got to spend stuff in order to get somewhere. So you know, not every, like, you can't really get anything for free in this game, rather than, or other than the drops that I've been talking about. But I mean, in terms of good equips, you've got to work towards getting them, and you can either look at it as spending money in real life, like I've done in the past, because I haven't had a lot of time to do this before now. But I've decided to, you know, perk up my interest and just, yeah, go and try looking at the other side of gearing up. So yeah, I'll show you what this PQ is like as well. Yeah, so you can only do it individually, as it's just told me there. And you can also get some good equips from here before I go in. So pretty much you use dinero, which you pretty much buy some items to ship somewhere, and you get profit from it. So it's a really interesting trading part of the game. So these are the two equips to go for. I will be going for these equips once I have enough dinero. I'm not going to bother buying them in the FM. I'll just wait till I've got enough to buy them, and then I'll cube them with Meister cubes and Master Craftsman cubes. So yeah, I've probably been doing this for about a week, and yeah, I'll show you where I'm up to. So you start out by shipping to a very low level considered area where you only run into 3 types of monsters, and it takes probably a maximum of 2 minutes to clear. You can clear it in probably about 40 seconds if you really try. Then you move on to Luna, and then Rosa, and then you can move out here, and so you go from Herbtown, and then there's Reen Harbor, and then there's Lith Harbor. So as you keep going on, you'll run into better bosses, and these bosses will give you cubic blades and chaos cubic blades, as well as superior item crystals. So these are the things you can trade, and yeah, so I'll do this. So maximum space available is 4. I can upgrade the ship as well, but I haven't bothered to yet. And yeah, so I'm spending 35 dinero, and the estimated voyage income is 5. So yeah, it takes a little while to do, but it's something, you know, that's interesting with Maple. You know, it's just one of the things I consider the daily things to do. I do this RA and Golux on this character as a daily thing, and because I'll go on to Golux next and show you guys how you can get superior item crystals easily, or what I consider easily, if you do it on multiple characters. So yeah, the bosses just keep coming, or the mobs keep coming. You've got to clear them. You've got a timer, but it's not that big of an issue if you don't. Yeah, well, if you don't hit very high, because you know you do get given a long time to kill these things. Let's pick up my summons so I don't get sealed again. So yeah, the things you look for that drop the cubic blades and the superior item crystals are
The Kraken-looking monsters, they summon towards the end. But as you can see here, the amount of time that I'm shortening it by, you know, it's a really quick PQ. So yeah, the Kraken should be coming up next. Nope, not yet. Yeah, it's towards the end, and Leviathan as well. It's towards the end, so Kraken should be appearing soon. Not yet. And you'll probably find that there's one mob that just keeps on spawning, and you just got to keep on attacking them. When you reach the end, it won't kick you out if the timer runs out. Pretty much, it just adds on to your estimated voyage duration. So, you know, it's no big deal. You can look at it as more EXP, more money, you know, whatever you view it as. So, yeah. And here's the Kraken, and hopefully it drops me something. It did. So see, I got a Chaos Cubic Blade from here. So it's only one, but if you do this PQ multiple times and you get good stuff, it's better than buying them in the FM. So the less you have to buy on the FM, the better. So, you know, the more money you're saving. You can just look at it as that. So, yeah, it's because really there's no good way of getting these cubic blades like in a large quantity. You can get them from veins as well, but yeah, I like using this PQ because I'm working towards multiple things in my view. So yeah, this guy can be a bit of a pain because he does knockback as well, but yeah, Battleship has a good stance. And he dropped me a cubic blade. So yeah, as you get these harder bosses, they will drop things that are beneficial to you. And there is another version of the Kraken as you go on, so it just increases your chances of getting something good. So I think these ones are just going to keep on spawning. Yep. But yeah, we've only been going for almost 3.5 minutes, so you've got, I think, the amount of runs you have to do per place you ship to shortens because it requires more energy, as they put it. I think that's what they call it. And yeah, so for the first one you can do 10 runs because you've got 100 well, energy points to use. But yeah, once you get to the end of the amount that you're given, you have to wait for it to reset for the next day. These things just keep on coming. I think this is the last lot. Yep. So yeah, it tells you the estimated voyage time and then shortened by that much, and the actual voyage time was 4.5 minutes. Basic income, and then what I get for bonus as well. I might just clear out my inventory because it will tell me I don't have any space. So, as I was talking about, yeah, the current energy, the run I just did used 25, so I've got another 3 runs I can do, so that means probably another 3 of these each, if they drop each time. I'm pretty sure drop gear affects it as well, so it's wise to use that. That's why I have my spider out. So yeah, you just double click these and it'll give you 1 of each. So yeah, it's not that bad of a way of getting it. So yeah, as it says, occasionally found in mysterious ore veins and used for making master craftsman cubes, and found in mysterious legendary ore veins and used for making renowned master craftsman, well, Meister cubes I should say, but oh well, that's the next one for you. Okay, so Golux is a place that I figure is a place where you can, well, make some good money if you can kill hard or hell mode. But in terms of those of you who can't really do this boss other than in its, well, easy or normal mode, or whatever you want to call it, where you kill all the body parts and then you finish off the head on the last run, you can actually farm some superior item crystals pretty easily, because there is a availability of them of 5 per day in the Golux shop. So you have to spend the Golux coins, so it's kind of a trade-off whether you want to get or start saving up for Golux equips or Golux scrolls. I kind of recommend you do this after you've gotten your Golux equips and scrolls and gotten all of that. So, you know, if you're looking for a reason to keep doing this boss, this is one of the reasons. If you don't go and do it daily to try and get superior items, you can do this to get the monster crystals from the shop instead, and it's a guaranteed 5 per day per character if you do it on more than one character. So yeah, let's just work our way up here. Where did that go to? And let's just buff up a little bit. Yep, and it's also a good place to get the cube fragments from as well. So you need the basic cube fragments in order to craft the cube. So not there. So yeah, the cube fragment, you need them to make the actual cubes, and you can get them quite commonly from Golux or the RA bosses. So as you can see here, it's dropping pretty easily. Here we go back up. Yeah, and then bang. So yeah, and then of course on your last run you go and actually kill Golux, but it's not necessary if you're only on your first run. You want to farm as many as possible of the coins per thing. So yeah, then you go out and you go here, and for 3 coins per item crystal, it's not too bad. So really, if you do 2 runs of killing the shoulder and abdomen and other shoulder, that's, well, 2, and then yeah, you'll get another, I think probably another 2 if you get like, I'm not sure, like if you can get more than 2 from killing the head. But yeah, you should be able to get 3 or 4 monster item crystals from here if you just do normal mode. So yeah, you have to buy them individually, and that's how you do it. So yep. So yeah, that's really it, guys. There's one last thing that someone asked me about in terms of farming giant bullet recipes, because as I am a Corsair, I do use bullets, surprise surprise. And yeah, I do have a recipe here. In terms of finding out what actually drops them, Basil Market doesn't have it right. I'm pretty sure, well, it just hasn't been updated, because I checked the 3 monsters it describes as dropping these recipes. One was Blue Kent's. I checked them. If you scroll through here, it's only got 1 yellow recipe, I believe, and it's Black Garena gloves. So obviously those aren't bullets. The other one that it said drop them was, I think, Oblivion Memory Monks, Monk Trainee. And yeah, you look here, and go down here, he has 2, but he only has projectiles for crossbow, and then Abyss Tails, so we don't need either of them. And then finally, it said that the Advanced Knight E, I believe, it was one of the ones from Hall of Honor, which I know used to drop them, because I think I got my ones there from these guys. But if you scroll down here, scrolling system is very good. Yeah, so they got Black Beauty, Abyss Killick, and Abyss Black Beauty, and probably another one of those things. Yeah, Reverse Killick. Out of the yellow ones, I did some further looking around and research, and I did find something that does drop them, but it probably would be a pretty low drop rate. Memory trainee monks do drop them, and you can see it here. So giant bullet recipe. And in terms of crafting giant bullet recipes, it used to be a pain in the ass to do back when I used to play my Corsair, because this was back when the old, or the first profession system was out, where they didn't have the ability to do both ore veins and herb veins. So now they've sort of crossed the two over, it's not as bad. So yeah, you scroll down here and I think it won't tell you what you need exactly, but it's pretty much luck crystals, wisdom crystals, histop flowers, juniper berry flower oil or seed oil, and then whatever the abrasive is required as well. So it's not that bad to make. Honestly, the recipe is more hard to find, and if I have missed any that actually drop it, feel free to leave a comment about it. But yeah, that's really it for this guide, guys. I will be doing a guide on herbalism and accessory crafting as well, probably down the track, and show you how those can cross over, because those two are actually pretty handy to do if you have two computers next to you. So yeah, you can fuse the rings you craft from accessory crafting in herbalism, and it helps level up both of them. So yeah, I'll leave that for another time, but thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.